I'm not real. I'm just like you. You don't exist in this society. If you did, your people wouldn't be seeking equal rights. You're not real. If you were, you'd have some status among the nations of the world.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Lovecraft Country by The Verdict's In. I'm your host, Nicole.
I'm Gary.
And today we are talking about Lovecraft Country, episode 7, entitled, I Am. Gary, what'd you think of the episode?
This was a powerful episode. After watching this, I felt like somebody.
Yeah.
I just felt so powerful. I felt like a warrior.
You wanted to scream your name?
I wanted to scream. Yeah. Real talk. What'd you think about it?
I liked it. I really, really liked it. I liked seeing Hippolyta go on this journey. The only thing is, like, I kind of wanted her to keep experiencing it. Yet at the same time, I did also think of Dee, because I kept saying, like, damn, Dee just lost her dad. Now she's going to lose her mom, too. So I was kind of conflicted on what I wanted her to do. Like, part of me wanted her to stay and experience this.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
So, but very much enjoyed it.
Well, I felt the same way about Dee. I'm glad she stopped it or ended it when she did. I mean, she's seen enough.
Yeah. She's
seen more than people have seen in their lifetime.
Right.
She's seen her lifetime.
Very good. I loved it. It was a good episode. And let's just get into it and we'll see what we have here. So it actually starts off with Hippolyta 3 days earlier from this. And she does go to the burned down lodge. She finds it. She also finds Dee comic. So she knows that George was there, which is sort of ironic because then at the end of the episode, Dee's comic is left on another scene of a crime. So they're going to find out there.
Yeah.
They're going to, and that one had her name actually on it. I mean, I'm sure the George one did too, but the George one was all burned up and she only could tell. Whereas this one is very clearly it showing her name.
It was almost like that movie, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. That comic book is getting around.
It's getting around. It's getting everywhere. And did you see the cover at the end of the comic? The last scene that it shot. The front cover of the comic looked like how Hippolyta looked at the end when she was in space, like that spacesuit.
Yeah.
So it's almost like how we mentioned Tick, the books he's been reading, some of that stuff has come to life. And now it feels like the stuff that Dee has been writing has come to life. And
maybe that's why she had those visions.
Yeah.
Or that's what she wanted to be. She read the comic book. This is what she's seen all the time. And the singer, what singer was that?
Josephine Baker.
Josephine Baker, that's probably one of her favorite singers.
Right.
So the things that she's seen and heard are things that she experienced during her I don't know what to call
journey.
It. Yeah, her journey. Her journey into space.
Right. Well, she finds out how to use the Aries. She's pretty smart. We'll see how smart she is.
She is smart.
Just extremely. Like, me and Gary, we were watching it. We were like, okay, literally, if that was us, we would have been just stuck on another planet. Because we wouldn't have figured out.
I would have made it to the other planet.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even made it to the other planet. Because
I would have
never figured out the Aries. Like, I would have missed step one. Never made it past that part.
That would have just been a display in my home.
Right. For years and generations.
Showing my friends, showing my homeboys.
Right.
Like, oh, this right here. I mean, spinning around, that's all I would have thought it did.
Right. Well, Christine confesses to Ruby that she uses William's blood and the other lady's blood to make her potion, and everything she told her was true, but Ruby demands the truth. She's like, tell me the truth. So later on, we do see Ruby with Letty throughout the episode. Do you think Ruby now knows what Letty experienced?
I don't know. I don't know if the truth she was told is the actual truth.
Right. Like, did Christine tell her truth? And did she bring up how Letty and George and Tick and all them
Christine
were there?
Christine is on a mission.
Right.
She's on her own personal mission. So whatever she told her could have been a lie, could have been just a little here and there what she wanted her to know. But I don't think she told her the complete truth. If she did, why would she be spying?
Yeah. And not only that, later on when she's talking to Letty a few times, I don't know, part of me feels like maybe Christine told her something that Letty's involved, because a few times she goes, hey, it looks like you and Tick were trying to get out of town, and then, I don't know. Maybe I'm just paranoid, or I think it because I know Letty's keeping a secret, but I feel like Ruby knows.
Ruby knows, and Ruby trying to pump her for information.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I said Christine told her like partial truths.
Yeah. Well, Letty has the same nightmare that Tick had, but in this case, she's pregnant in this nightmare.
And that's why I felt like she had it. I felt like now that she's carrying Tick's seed, now she can see his visions or see the visions.
Oh, because his blood
past.
is in her body.
Right.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure she's pregnant, especially later on.
Oh,
when
she's
she gets
definitely
nauseated. Pregnant. Yeah. And she starts calculating, like, okay, when's the last time? Da, da, da. Yeah. She's definitely pregnant.
And she knows it's Tick's baby.
Yeah, that's the only one she been with. It sure enough ain't the other guy that lies all the time, that said people climb like a tree.
Yeah, would it be disrespectful if Tick say, is it mine?
It would definitely be hella disrespectful. All right, so Montrose is being an asshole this morning. You know, him and Sammy's been getting along, and now Sammy made breakfast, went to the store first, didn't even have breakfast there. So he had to first wake up early, go to the store, make this damn breakfast, and then hear Montrose is complaining about every little thing. And Sammy's like, I don't have time for this bullshit. I've done it before. I'm not putting up with this again.
See, the problem with people like Montrose is he was down and out, beat up, face messed up. I was about to say effed up. Yeah. Face messed up. And Sammy was there to heal his wounds. Yeah. He needed Sammy at that moment. Now, since he's all healed and he's doing better, that's like when people, they're broke and they come to you begging for money. Mm-hmm. They're real humble.
Right.
But once they have that money and trying to pay you back, that's when they have an attitude.
I ain't got to pay you shit.
Oh, you want that little $200? Yeah, that's that little. That's a little buddy.
You stressing out $200? I'm going to get you your little money.
And that's how Montrose is acting. That's how he's acting right now.
Right.
He's all healed up. He's better. Now he's copping an attitude with him. Like, no, you owe this man more. You was laid up under him. He was taking care of you, healing your wounds, loving you when you was all broken. And now that you're in a better place, now you want to be an asshole.
Right.
Or you're showing your true colors. You're being yourself.
Now, when he gets caught by Tick and Letty, it's like at the perfect moment, of course. And Tick is so disappointed. And so, like, Tick has so many emotions. And I was surprised that Tick, well, I guess I'm not that surprised given the time. Because he asked Montrose, like, are you the F word? And Montrose is like, you're not going to call me out my name. But really, Tick looks more hurt than anything. I don't think he's judging Montrose for his choice, like, because he's like, did Mama know? And he said, yeah.
I think it's a little of both. I think he's judging a little bit because remember what time it is.
Yeah.
It's still in those times where that's not accepted. And then this is his father.
Right.
And now he realized that the reason his father beat him wasn't because it was love. It's because his father didn't want him to be like him.
Yeah, his own insecurities.
Right.
And I think that's why, well, I don't want to bring real life into it, but I'm kind of going to just quickly. And it was that whole controversy of Kevin Hart's joke where he was like saying, he would like beat his son if he was gay, or like the dollhouse or whatever drama happened, like the joke. And why so many people
bust a dollhouse over his head.
Yeah. And I didn't like think that much of it at the time, but like now hearing more stories come about and like how people said, no, that's real. Like, you were joking, but that really happens in some people's household. They'll get beat because some people think they can beat the gay out of them, or pray the gay out of them, or whatever the case may be. And
okay.
And seeing how Tick is saying, like, damn, he beat me because of the shit, his own shit that he was going through, or his own stuff that he was trying to come to terms with.
All right, I see it.
So, like, now it kind of makes it more clear of why people were so hurt by that quote-unquote joke, because it's like, that shit hurt.
Because it's hard to put yourself in other people's shoes.
Right. Especially if it's not a thing of, like, that you can ever relate to, or that you can be like, oh, that's just a funny joke. It was harmless. And then it's like other people that are like, no, that shit really happened to me. It's not harmless. So.
But still.
Yeah.
To me, a joke is a joke. I mean, people can make racist jokes about black people. Oh, you ain't black if this, or black people, chicken, black people. People make all kind of disrespectful jokes, and it's funny. I don't agree with picking and choose which jokes you want to laugh at.
I agree.
Or which jokes you just want to just throw hate at.
Right.
Because if you can laugh at him, that's what Dave Chappelle said.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle.
Said,
I was thinking of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can laugh at all these black jokes I'm telling.
Right. All these black jokes is he and Han. And then if I say something about a certain group of people, and now it's like, oh, you took it too far. And it's like,
right.
No. So I get it. And actually, my sense of humor, I don't like clean jokes. I like them to make me a little uncomfortable. I like to be just a little bit tad offended when the joke
really?
come out. Yeah, it got to be a dirty joke. I'm like, man, that's effed up. And then kind of laugh at it a little bit. Like
that's effed up. But yeah, that's true.
That's true.
It happened.
So that's just my sense of humor. But in the same time, watching Tick, like the acting that he did, I mean, he like this guy's gonna get some awards. He has to, because the emotions, even just sometimes when he's not even saying anything, the emotions he brings and the emotion he brought when he was like, he beat me all those times he beat me. It like I said, it made me think of the Kevin Hart joke, and now it didn't sound so funny anymore because like that shit is real. So
it is real, and that joke was never like hilarious, haha, funny.
Yeah, I mean it's Kevin Hart,
but no, Kevin Hart is funny.
No, Kevin Hart's funny. I mean,
come on now, stop it. Stop it. All the Kevin Hart's little movies we want to go see.
I know.
His stand-ups we want to go see.
I do Kevin Hart stand-ups more than his movies. But yeah.
Kevin Hart's in my top 5.
Yeah, he's in my top 5. I don't have many. Dave Chappelle's number 1, of course. And then probably Cat Williams.
Oh, Cat Williams up there. Yeah.
Well, Letty, she ends up apologizing to Ruby, and it kind of softens Ruby up a little because she goes, you know what, maybe you're not just like our mom, because one thing our mom never did is she never apologized when she was wrong. So the fact that you are willing to apologize shows me that you're not just like her.
Yo, I hate people that pout in public or just want you to see them pouting. Yeah. You know, she sat by the window, put her glasses on, and just gonna look at his face. I just hate people that just, I'm pouting, but I want everybody to see me pouting just to make it real. Yo, go pout in private.
Yeah. And then, like, I can see if you pouting right after the situation. It's obviously been a few weeks or something. And, like, I don't know how you can still have that pout.
I'm going to be mad, but I want people to see me mad. I want somebody to ask me what I'm mad about. Right. Hey, get out of here with that.
So since Letty stayed home to kind of rehatch that relationship or kind of mend that relationship with Ruby, we see Tick is on the road, and he goes sees like an old family friend to try to get more information from her about his mom. And she starts to tell him like, hey, you know, most stuff burned up in the massacre, but me and your, like, I don't think she was talking about his mom, because this lady's much older than the dad and the mom's age. So I'm guessing it was like the mom's mom. It's a couple generations back. And she tells him,
I think the person she was talking about, I think it was her mom's best friend's mother or daughter or somebody related, because she kept saying they were really close.
Yes. So and they both lost their husbands at the same time. And they were like, we're not going to be old ladies to just, you know, nothing together. So they kind of had each other. And clearly it wasn't they lost their husbands, because Tick's dad was still alive at the time. So it must be Tick's mom's mom that they were referring to.
Maybe.
But the book,
should have paid a little more attention right there.
She pulls out a book, and in that book, one of the people there like have a birthmark, and Tick realizes he has that same birthmark, and it's it's not much, but it's giving him a little bit more information.
Was it somebody related to his mother, like maybe an auntie or?
I'm not sure of. It was in the book that she, you know how like the parents, like the old ladies bring out the old books and the photo albums. Yeah.
Photo album, yeah.
So, which I think we need to do that more. And we have photo albums, but it's like no one ever looks at them because everything's online. But
everything is digital now.
I do think it's important to still have like hard copy photo albums, because you don't know how long all this digital stuff is going to last.
Because, you know, every time I go over my grandmother's house, my older aunts, I love breaking out the photo album.
Right.
Looking in it, you know. I don't know. I just love doing it. It just take me somewhere else.
I do too.
When I look at it, I kind of imagine like, what was it like in this time that they took this picture right here?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Seeing my mother when she was younger, my uncles were players. You know,
play from the Himalaya.
They were dressed to the T. You know, they went everywhere with suit pants and button-up shirts.
And those shoes. I can't think of the name of the shoes.
No T-shirts in those days. T-shirts was made to go up under the little button-up, nice dressy shirts.
Well, Letty calls Tick and she goes, "Hey, Hippolyta knows more than what they've told her, and she must be on her way to whatever she's on her way to. She can be in danger."
Yeah.
You know? Now I can't remember how Letty figured that out. Oh, she found the Airy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she knew that Hippolyta had it. She's like, Hippolyta must have just took this from my house.
Yeah, that's called stealing.
Right.
But, you know, I was in there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay, yeah, sister. Stick with your sister.
Right.
You know, because when you talk about black people, you don't want to call it what it is.
Right.
Like Dave Chappelle said, we support with silence. Support it with silence.
Yeah.
Don't call it stealing.
Don't call it stealing.
Yo, she must have borrowed this from me without my permission.
Without me knowing. Okay. So we see Hippolyta and she goes to the machine and she starts messing with it and doing all types of calculations. I mean, this scene was a long, crazy scene because it just all happened so fast, because then security comes and she tries to hide. They find her, and before they could probably beat her or do whatever, Tick comes in like a superhero. I didn't even know that was Tick, because she was like, Tick. I'm like, what is Tick doing there?
Yeah, he got there quick.
You know, and...
Well, we don't know the time difference, because when she said she's on her way there, or I know where she's going, I mean, it could have been while she was on the road.
Right.
Although we seen her already there beforehand. Yeah.
And then Tick was in St. Louis, so we don't know how far wherever she's at.
Mayfield.
Yeah, okay. So, but then Tick starts fighting the security, but then she ends up finally getting the gun and shooting the security and killing them, or killing at least one. And
then, she killed one of them.
Next thing you know,
the other one got thrown into the little portal.
Oh, he did? I was wondering what happened to the other one.
Yeah, the portal opened because I think somebody shot the machine. Okay. And that's when it started malfunctioning.
Right.
And the portal started opening, and one of them got thrown into it.
Well, I wonder if he had a similar experience than hers.
I wonder what was Tick's experience.
Okay, so I'm gonna get to that, because I was wondering, did Tick fall out of the portal too? It looked like Tick.
Yeah, he fell out the portal.
So he went there too. We just didn't see his experience.
Right.
Okay, I thought I was tripping. I was gonna say something. I thought I was tripping when that happened. Okay, because we see she gets pulled into the portal.
Right. But first things first, that portal would have never got open with me there.
First, I would have never even been there to open the portal.
When she started doing all those math equations,
right.
that, I was like, man, if I can't do it with my fingers, it's not getting done.
Yeah. Well, she ends up on a planet, which I would have freaked the fuck out. Like, I would have freaked out. I'd have probably died from freaking out. And then
she gave us a little skin too.
Yeah, because then she's brought on the spacecraft and she's fully naked, and we see like these things inside her wrist, like someone has inserted something inside her wrist, and she does all other types of math equations again, and a soul sister comes back and forth, and eventually
soul sister machine, future soul sister,
and she's like, tell me what your name is, or where do you want to be, where do you want to go? And she says, I want to be in Paris dancing with Josephine Baker. And she is. Now, I would think that if that's what is her dream, that she would know how to dance better. But like,
no, you know what? I think that maybe she knew the moves. Like our kids, you know, they know the moves to all the videos, all the songs, everything. But when you're put there with your favorite entertainer, it's gonna be some kind of shock.
Yeah.
And I think she was just shell shocked from it all. You know, she's our favorite singer, Josephine Baker, doing her thing. Because remember, she was smiling and trying to watch the show.
Yeah, and the lady's like, man, get out of it and like get your head in the game and start freaking dancing properly.
But you saw as time went on, she learned the steps, or she was able to do the steps better.
Yeah.
But I think at that time, she was probably just starstruck.
And they seemed fun. Like, they seemed very happy. They seemed very free. And that's something, I don't know if she says it right then and there, or if she says, I think she might say it later. But no, I think she says it here. But she was saying that, like, you know, now that she's getting a taste of freedom, she knows what she was robbed of. And she said they found a way to lynch her without seeing the news. And sometimes she just wants to kill white folks. and she hates them for letting them make her feel so small. So that whole scene when she was talking to Josephine Baker and saying all this, I thought was so powerful.
It was powerful. And I think when she said they found a way to lynch us, I think she was talking about like then, right at that moment also.
Yeah. Well, the moment with Josephine Baker?
Right. I think it was all of the above.
Okay.
But, you know, we heard this before. We heard a lot of celebrities like Jimi Hendrix. Mm-hmm. You know, he went to London. And all of them, when they go overseas, they say they like really feel free because they were able to eat where they want to, sit where they want to.
Right.
They were treated like stars. People loved them. And I'm not saying that there's not there's racism everywhere. And there's racism over there also.
Yeah.
But for some reason, you know, a lot of entertainers go overseas, like to France, even to Germany. It's crazy. To all these places, and they feel freer there than they feel in their own country. Well, I can't say their own country, but they feel freer there than they feel in the United States.
Right. Well, because if you think about it, when the ladies were criticizing her, they never said like this black lady or this Negro or anything like that. They kept calling her American, so it was more about your nationality versus like your ethnicity. Yeah. Right. And I feel like I see that more with other like countries and places. Like it's more discussed as far as where you're from versus like the actual color of your skin.
Right. Like in France, you know, they don't have the are you black, white, this is you're French. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's probably why they were saying the American.
Right.
Not the Afro-American.
Right.
Not the black American, just the American.
The American, yeah.
But still to this day, the people that don't see color, don't see race, you know, it's all over applications. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just everything. What's the other thing that the census?
Yeah. It's
everything.
Ingrained in everything.
Everything
and,
you do.
I watched a little clip of Saturday Night Live this past week with Chris Rock, and he was saying pretty much, which, I mean, everyone's been saying, but since he's the latest that said it, I'll quote him. But he was pretty much saying, like, it's not just the elections and the voting and all that stuff that we need to change. It's like all of it. There's so much racism and so much inequality ingrained in so many little aspects of our life, whether it's the government, the school systems, the criminal justice system, jobs, housing, literally everything. Stores, grocery stores, where you get your food, what kind of food they have in those stores, what kind of drinks they have in those stores, the price, like literally everything. And he was saying like it all needs to change. All of it. So,
right.
Which, you know, he, like I said, he's not the first. He's not going to be the last, but he definitely is correct in that. All right. So then I think my favorite sequence is when she's brought to the fight. Like, I think it's in Africa somewhere. And it's like all these women warriors and they all have like the get up on. It was amazing. And she's getting beat up by Nawi. And the Nawi's talking to her. And she's like, you know what? This is not freedom. They tried to tell you guys this is freedom, but this is not freedom. And I'm not here to tell you what your freedom is because everyone's idea of freedom will look differently. But I'm telling you, you're here to fight for that freedom because right now you don't have it. And you show her practicing fighting with Nawi, and we see her get better and better to eventually she's actually able to defeat Nawi.
Right.
And now she's giving the head crown, and they fight the white colonizers there.
I think Naui was there just to train them.
Yeah.
Just to train them, to motivate them. When she was given a head crown, it's not like she took hers. Right. She just completed her course.
Right. Whatever that was, I wanted to see more. I was like, no, don't leave that space. Like, every time she went to a different spot, I'm like, don't leave. I wanted, like, the Josephine Baker. I'm like, yeah, I'm having fun here. Like, she's free. She has her little cigarettes, and she's having a good time, and everyone's having a good time with each other and dancing and singing. Yeah.
And I understand they had to move on, but I wish they had more of the show, you know, especially at the Josephine Baker part. Mm-hmm. I wish they would have went a little further. Maybe lead into like next episode and then we see her go somewhere else.
Right.
But, you know, they got to move on. They got a story to tell.
They did a really good job, though, for the timing that they had. Like,
right.
You still got to, and it still felt like a whole world within just a few minutes of a scene.
Yeah. It was impactful.
Yeah. All right, so then now she's back with George, and she talks to George about like how she's been shrinking herself even before she met George. And then once she met George, she even continued to shrink himself, and he kind of allowed that. And like, she knows that he knows she wanted to be bigger than this. Like, she, remember we saw in the first episode, she's like, why don't I go with you? And then eventually he's like, hey, next time you come with me. Or she said, why don't I go instead? And he was like, no. And then he's like, next time you can go with me. And she was getting excited. Like, she wanted more than just to sit at home and wait. She wanted to go on those adventures, even those I know he was doing to protect her, but she still wanted to be alive. And if something happened and danger happened, then she was willing to take that chance because she wanted to live.
One thing I liked about all of these scenes, her going places, I love when the futuristic her or robot or Afro girl.
Yeah.
I love when she kept telling her, "You are not a prisoner."
Right.
And it seems like it's always all in the mind.
Yeah.
We in the mind we feel like we can't do things. We can't. And one thing I'm gonna tell you that Russell Simmons said. I know a lot of people mad at Russell Simmons right now. But one thing he said that I always keep with me is he said he was speaking to somebody and they asked him how did he do it, how was he able to do it, which was create the record label at a time like that, because he was the first to Def Jam, he was the first to do it, did the fashion, everything, and he said, I didn't know I couldn't.
Right.
And it just sounds real simple, real basic, but that's real talk. He didn't limit himself to that. He didn't know. He said he didn't know that him being a black man disabled him from doing everything that he accomplished.
Right.
He thought that this was the thing to do. He saw other people doing it, and he did it.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, having the mindset is so important, because if you don't think you can do it, then you won't do it. If you think this is all my life is,
right,
then that's all your life is going to be.
A prisoner of your own mind.
Yeah. Yeah. And I admit I was once that way. I was a prisoner of my own mind. Now I know and I believe anything is possible. Anything I want, I can get. Anything I want to do, I can achieve. And you just have to know that you have to work for it, but it's a possibility. Like, it can happen. So now Hippolyta, she's talking with Soul Sister, and she's like, how can I ever go back home after experiencing all of this? Yet at the same time, she knows her daughter needs her. And that's when the machine clicks off. So I was thinking she's being sent back home. But then that's when we show Tick kind of fall out of the machine. So I'm like, am I tripping? And that's when you confirm, Tick did come out of the machine. But I thought we were going to see her. But maybe she's back at home with Dee right now.
Right. I mean, we already seen the impossible.
Yep. We've seen the impossible.
We already seen Tick go one place, swim up underwater,
and end up back home. So that is that, and that's when we see that he left the comic book. Well, he didn't leave it, but the comic book was definitely left under the dead security guard. And we'll have to see if the other security guard can come back, but probably not, because Tick did turn the machine off.
When Letty was on the phone with him, like I mentioned earlier, Hippolyta was already there. But we don't know the time frame because 2 minutes later, he was there.
Right.
So we don't know if he came out after, came out before. We don't even know if he came out in the right place. This could be in his mind that he came out in the comic books right there and this is right here. So we just don't know right now.
Yeah. Well, that is all we got, you guys. Until next episode, we can't wait to discuss. Always hit us up if you would like to be part of the podcast. Host at theverdictsin.com or on Twitter at theverdictsin or facebook.com/theverdictsin, and we'll discuss your feedback on the podcast. Until then, I'm Nicole.
I'm Gary.